Hey, hi, Sunny.
Hey, hello, Edric. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, thanks so much. Hey, now, just for context, right, for everybody who's listening out there, Sunny is
Yeah,
actually based in the UK right now, and he's in the
yes.
middle of a production. Now, would you be at liberty to actually tell us what production this might be?
Well, this is actually a movie called Havoc. It's actually directed by Garrett Evans. If everybody know the movie that he directed before, The Raid, The Redemptions, yeah,
Mm.
and The Raid 2. So all this movie is actually, he directed it, and also Morantau as well. He's well known to that. And Gangs of London and Apostle, all these great, what do you call it, films and TV series. So yeah, actually, Gareth is actually one of my friends who I know back in 2014, which we supposed to, work together on the projects, but somehow something went wrong. It didn't work out. So after that, when we go almost before we go separate ways, he actually spoke to me personally. He said one day, whatever I'm gonna do, I'll try to find a spot for you. Then finally that this thing came up when I was doing stunt directing the time for Channel 8, and during this February he gave me a call and said, I have this project called Havoc with Tom Hardy, and I want you to be one of the cast. So I was just like, yeah, right, man. He said, yeah, yeah. I mean, how's your dates in June and all this and that? So we try to dig up the information, and it was kind of surreal for me, and it happens. I mean, I didn't expect to work with Tom Hardy and Forrest Whitaker as well, and also my close friend, my one of my not my close friend, my good friend, Yo Yen Yen, and I mean she was being casted as well. So and some of the big names, and it was very surreal, and it's a Netflix original film, and right now I'm here, in Wales and getting ready to shoot. So crazy, crazy time.
How does it feel, to be honest, right? When I mean, you've mentioned great names, Tom Hardy, Forrest Whitaker. Now, these, of course, are huge names. And not only that,
Yeah.
you're now on Netflix as well. How different is the feeling and the model, right, of what it used to be from Masters of the Sea on, whether it was SBC or TCS or Channel 5 at the time, all the way till now, the model has changed so much in pay TV, subscription based, and everything is so much bigger on Netflix. Do you
Mhm.
feel that shift already going on to set, or is this something that you only realize when post production is complete?
I think the shift is inevitable. I felt because when they announced it, Netflix, because the shift was just like the shift is in a way that is inevitable because right now everybody has a device on their hands. You can watch movie. You can do basically a lot of things with your device, and then with your Android TV as well. I have a TV, LG TV, which basically you can watch all the Netflix and Disney Plus, even Amazon as well. So the thing is just that the only shift is because of how do you view content, whether it's on a big cinema or whether do you view it on your TV or even on your phone. So the shift is, like I said, inevitable. It's just that does it lose out the quality? That's my take, and it doesn't because the scale is really huge as well. Where I'm shooting right now in Wales, the set was just like I think we were in the whole what do you call it studio can pack up probably around 20 or 30 jumbo jets that big, and 90% of the shoot is inside the studio, and only 10% we do exterior shoot. But the shift is only in probably on the viewing, but the quality doesn't change. Is because I guess a lot of people outside of Singapore will still think that quality is still pretty much uh, keep as what it is before. Maybe the budget sort of down a little bit, but whether is it in terms of acting, sets, script, or maybe in terms of sound as well, or picture quality, nothing changed because they want to keep it in such a way that you can actually indulge yourself 2.5 hours or maybe 3 hours in your lifetime to enjoy a masterpiece in a way.
Hmm.
So the amount of work going to it is not just by saying that I have a TV, there's something I shoot or a YouTube video, I call it get to entertain people. Yes, you might be, but you can never forego about quality narrative storytelling.
Now, based on the crew that you're working with, if you, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
for example, we were talking about standards, as what you were mentioning earlier on,
Mm.
what what are you bringing back from the UK back to Singapore or wherever it is your next project might be?
Bringing in the standard is not an issue because when you hear, you experience a lot of kind of like the 1:10 ratio standards, you know. But the question is not bringing in, like I said, the question is, were you willing to accept this as a new standard? That's my question to a lot of people over there. Because standard itself is not that we cannot achieve. We are by far one of the sophisticated countries in the world. Look at how the way we handle SARS. Look at the way how the way our airport looks like in our countries evolving in terms of financially, economics, and all these other things. Yeah, but the problem is just that accepting that kind of change is like, are you willing to see it? Or are you want to see the data? Or do you want to see the numbers? Numbers meaning by this one. Okay.
Mm.
It's very hard for certain people to break up the habits and break away from the comfort zone and try to adapt new ideas or system. It's not just a video cam shooting somebody talking, like that can already, cheap, cheap, never mind. It's more than that. If we keep thinking that way, we can never, never, ever be able to evolve as an industry itself. With this respect, you don't pay a monkey to do a man's job. Yeah. And if you want to hire that monkey to do the man's job, you will fail. But then again, and also the other thing is just that we hate to accept failure as it is. And then we understand why we fail and evolve from there. If you keep on doing that way, that, oh, like that can't really, this is the way. I mean, slowly spoon feed, but don't know whether you want to do go left or go right. Okay, let's just say we have two extremes, but never in the middle ground,
Mm.
right? Everything has a way to solve if you really find the right people to answer that question. It's just like you, maybe yourself or myself, go and tell our uncle your chicken rice need to add this and need to add that. Chicken rice uncle will take the thing and throw at you. you know, so it's just like, why are we having that? You want to accept new standard? You want to evolve as a whole, or what is your direction? There is never a clear cut. It's either extreme left or extreme right. Even right now, I'm trying to implement certain things like Ronin Action Group, my boys and girls. We have a different kind of set of standards from the other group. Not because we are better, but because that I need to protect my boys and girls. Yeah.
Mm.
It's not that easy saying, oh, just do this, just do this. I get paid very little. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is not the way I project it to be because we have to respect our own people. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't care whether what race you are. You come to my house, you are being looked after because you're being trained, and you have to be, of course, respectful to everybody else. Because this is kind of fundamental behavior is the attitude is very important towards your work ethics. Because when I was overseas, when I would see some of the work ethics, I was just say, wow. I mean, that was just very different from us. But then again, of course, our guys, some of them are actually very good as well. Not saying that we are all bad and everything, but it's just that the work ethics in terms of not being fake, not being fake, not trying to like pretentious to be this way, even in actings or other works as well. They go to miles to achieve a certain goal. But yes, it's a job, but then they are really passionate about what they're doing. I'm not saying I'm very, very passionate, but I love what I do as well. Okay. So where do we want to go from there? Are you seriously thinking that people are watching your stuff? Yeah. Are you seriously thinking that your platform is working? You know?
Well, nobody watches this, so it's okay. It's okay.
The thing
I
is
don't
just
even know how many subscribers we have, but nobody watches this. So honestly, you
uh,
came here just to talk to me.
yeah.
But
No, no, no.
yeah,
I
but I,
mean,
I
I'm not
love I
meaning.
love the point that you're making. I love the point that you're making because at the end of the day, we do things for passion. Passion fuels us, but it doesn't necessarily pay the bills. And not only
Mm,
that, when we talk about standards, then it becomes the perception of standards. It becomes, why this person gets paid millions and millions of dollars, and this other guy who takes all the bumps only gets a couple of $1,000s for cracking his head on the floor. And
yeah.
insurance doesn't even cover it for some places. I mean, when you look at the stunt groups of the 80s and 90s, right, how badly it was done, how rough it was for all these other guys. Extras were being paid. I mean, when you watch all the back behind the scenes footage of the old 80s and 90s movies, right? Don't talk about the Western ones. Look at the Asian ones.
Mm,
I mean, these guys are falling on just cardboard boxes. The
yeah.
bengohap. Jackie
Like, go
Chan
up,
was
yeah.
always very famous for falling on all the fruit boxes, all the apple boxes, and foam balls and peanuts and whatever. And
Hmm.
yeah, but at the end of the day, his guys didn't get paid that much as well. When he started out, he didn't get paid that much as well. Is that
Yeah.
something that you had also gone through? Not just as an actor, but as a stuntman.
Yeah, as a stuntman, that where I started off, I think back was 1994 or 95. So
Hmm.
that time, I was new, and then I was selected by one of the Sifu Puncher. He actually see me stretching and everything, so he asked me to come over. So I started a bit of training, not really a lot. So after that, few days later, I go on set and do my shit. Right? So during those days, our payment was okay. I mean, compared to right now, because we're talking about probably $100 per day in a way, yeah.
Hmm.
In example, I mean, during back those days in '90s, $100 is a lot of money.
$100 was good.
Yeah, $100 is really good. We are comfortable. You can make something out of it, and you can probably survive it if you probably just work like probably 10 or maybe 20 days of it. You probably sometimes we can even double if you do something crazy. But the only thing lack out is just that once you get injured, they only pay you maybe sign triple of the payment, and that's it for that day itself. And there is no, let's just say, your insurance coverage, nothing. Of course, during those days, the people were still trying to evolve because the budgets and so on and TV series were still trying to evolve. But '90s was one of the best time because even though we worked very hard, but the reward is just that you see quality stuff, even though it's not fantastic. But during those days, the standard is really really good. Like you have different genres, you have different storytelling, and you have multiple different faces of actors rather than right now just pancakes all the time, same pancake face, you know.
Right.
And you sort of like it sort of like fulfill your fantasy being in the movie set and or films of TV set. It doesn't matter
Yeah, it's
what
true.
it is. And the thing is, yes, we do get kicked in the chest. I do get whacked in the face, stuff like that. There even one fake machetes who made of wood, right? The actors were supposed to slap on my face, boom, this way, right? But instead he turned to this way, the straight point where it's made of wood, and go foop, one line and
Hmm.
scratches my face, and then when it went down, my Sifu, or the stunt director, Puncho, wow, 你講乜嘢啊？喂，拍佢啊，唔係割佢啊！ No, 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 all this. He even scold the actors as well.
Hmm.
So the actor was just like, but still, during those days, the actors are all trained as well. They pretty much very intelligently willing to try, willing to learn, those kind of things as well. So hand in hand, accident is inevitable because it's part and parcel of being a stunt person. But then again, you sort of see the reward of it and you're satisfied. But the only thing that you don't have is insurance. There
Hmm.
is not much of it because I'm a part timer, but I'm almost like a regular part timer, so to speak. So every now
Right.
and then I even do part time acting. I'm considered a D grade actors in a way during those days. Yes, it is. It is.
Ah,
Uh,
very interesting, right? That you said that your seafood just saw you stretching and said, "Hey, come and do this." So, in other words,
yeah.
you were literally pulled into the stunt world. It's not something that you went, "Wow, this looks really cool," and I love to do all this stuff.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be called because that set was, I think, one of those period kung fu TV series. and I was one of the actors to hire to be playing a role. So, but before, because I was called in and because I want to make a bit of money, I was preparing for a tournament to stretch, and because I do Sanda, the
Mm.
sparring, this and that. So I was getting ready to go for really full on training. So I was stretching, and then so the Sifu was just looking at me and said, "Hey, 兄弟，你識功夫啊?" He said, "You know kung fu?" And I know kung fu. I used to do boxing, this and that, but that I my flip I cannot do very well, but I can do certain things. During those days when I haven't injured my leg, that time I can kick very high. So I said,
Mm.
"Hey, come on by and see us. We need some part timers to fill in as a stuntman." So I did. So that's how I get into it. I was just like, huh? Yeah, I told my mom just like, oh, this some director talked to me just now, want me to be in it. Say, go and make some money lah. I said, okay. I didn't expect anything
But
like that to happen. Yeah. So I
nice.
just get
And then
into it.
when, as you were going along with that, right? Did,
Hmm.
when I would assume that you got hooked onto it, and you really bit in, and you started enjoying the process. And as you start to enjoy the process, you dive deeper, and you start looking at inspirational models, who I should follow, what, hey, this looks really good, that person does it really well, who are these people, right, in the industry. Or were you looking internally within the Singapore industry or Malaysia side, or was it all based in Hong Kong, Asia, or was it more of the West?
I think for me was during that time, during the 90s, that time we have quite a few standards. Of course, that I also wanted to be a hero in a way. I mean,
VR
hopefully
man
one
lah.
day I
You could
can
have been
make.
VR man lah.
No way, dude. Not that kind of man, man. That was like a disaster, man. I mean, when I watched it the first time on the TV, off the TV, please. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
The
like
the only thing worth
crazy.
watching was Lisa Ang, I think, at the time.
Yes, yes, that she is like one of the hot chicks.